Good morning, YouTube. As you can see, I am hardly presentable today. I'm still in my night clothes. I haven't bothered changing it because I wanted to record a quick tarot tag. It was put together by Ember Honeyraven, the Big Fat Witch, and by Phat, I hope she means pretty hot and tempting. I am just sort of sitting here drinking my tea. This is apple snapple that I have warmed over the stove with a packet of Bigelow's orange and spiced tea, and it actually it actually tastes pretty amazing. And if you see me swatting, there is this fly in the house that I just can't get rid of. Okay, so today is her Tell Me Tarot tag, and let's see. The first question is that there are only three questions, and I'm looking at my notes because I wrote down all my different ideas. What magical feature would you like to see in a tarot deck? I had to really think about this. Because I had two ideas. The first idea was to transport me on fabulous adventures with the characters of the tarot cards. My next idea, which is related to the first, goddamn fly, get out of here, is to transform me to far off destinations after an unfortunate reading. Who couldn't use that? Okay, the second question is, what is a pet peeve you have when looking at tarot decks? And guys, I have many. Let's see, and I even have examples of most of them here. Copyrights on each card, because it's like buying a book with a copyright notice on every single page. The only deck publishing company that I know that does that is US Games, and I really wish they wouldn't, because Egg Mueller actually puts the copyright on every single card, but they don't put it on the face of the card. Instead, they put it discreetly in the back of the card, right there at the bottom. So that's something that really kind of annoys me. But wait, there's more. Poor quality cardstock. I cannot tell you. I mean, this is a gripe with many tarot readers, is poor quality cardstock. I do not like shuffling decks and having the cards either get bent out of shape, or I get a deck and I've after months and months I finally managed to get this one straightened out. But when I first got it, there was a noticeable bend. You can still slightly see it. There was just this curvature in the entire deck, which made it really awkward to handle. This is a Llewellyn deck. I believe it's the Wizard Academy deck. It's got really great artwork. Yeah, I have been told by people that work for Llewellyn that they do take their cardstock seriously, and that they are fixing the problems that has been plaguing their tarot decks for quite a while now. So that's good. Unfortunately, Llewellyn is no longer interested in giving away review copies of their tarot decks. So for those reviewers like myself who would really like to see firsthand what changes are being made in terms of quality, we just have to go out and actually buy the deck. So that kind of sucks. Oh yeah, also poor packaging. Poor packaging really sucks. I mean, but Llewellyn, I hear, is taking that into consideration as well, because they used to give you a little drawstring bag to hold your tarot deck in, but they changed that to these little, these square white cardboard packaging things that were really annoying, really flimsy, and I could not stand keeping my deck inside them even for a minute. Oh, unexplained symbolism. I don't have any decks now that have unexplained symbolism in them, but I have seen it, and it is a bit annoying. I believe that when a tarot deck creator and is creating a deck, they really owe it to their readers to explain the symbolism so that they can use their intuition to see what is at play here in the card itself. I absolutely find that extremely valuable. For example, the Tarot of the Old Path has lots of symbolism in it, such as plant lore and animal lore, and without the guidebook, you really wouldn't know what that is. At one time, I believe the guidebook was published by the deck publisher itself, but it has since been discontinued and is published separately, which again totally sucks. Oh, drastically renamed cards that soften any negative connotations. Sometimes it works, such as here. This is the High Priest card of the Terror of the Old Path, which was originally the Hierophant. I want to get to this card because I keep forgetting that this card is replacing the Judgment card, and this is Karma. So every once in a while, it's hard to keep straight which card was which. This is the Close. I mean, many of these, such as the Close, if it's a pagan deck, you really shouldn't need to rename because death is a part of nature. And some of these renamings I really don't understand. I mean, I don't know why they didn't just call this the Moon. Because the illusory nature of the Moon is part of the original traditional meaning of the card itself. Here we have the Guide, which was originally Temperance. Again, I don't know why they didn't just call the Wise One the Hermit. It would have still retained its original meaning. The character is extremely close to what it originally was. And again, I don't know why they renamed the Chariot card Mastery. Although I really like the effect of it. And of course we have Temptation, which is the Devil. Honestly, I really was hoping to see an actual Devil card in this deck. Even though I'm pagan, even though I don't believe in any devil per se, I still like seeing a Devil card in a tarot deck because, if they have good horns, it really underscores the astrological signature of that card, which is associated with Capricorn. And I don't know why they renamed the Hanged Man the Lone Man. I really am not jiving also on his getup. It would have been awesome if they'd made him look a little more shamanic. That would have been really cool. But he just looks like a jester. In fact, he looks like a fool, which may have been what they were getting at. Cards with a namesake, such as the major cards, is not the focal point of the card itself. And again, I have a few examples of that really, really bug me. This is from the Art Nouveau Tarot, and it is my first vintage tarot deck. I believe it cost me $20, although I believe the half price bookstore was charging $40 for it, even though the average price I tend to see is between $50 and $60 online. But this is the Tower card, and the Tower is way off in the distance, really, really tiny. I just believe the Tower should be up close and personal. The same with these two cards from the Wizard Tarot deck. Here we have the sun, and you don't actually see the sun, you just see sun symbolism, such as sunflowers and the white horse. The white horse in Indo-European culture is the steed of the sun god. But I would have liked to have seen a bright, bold sun in that window. That would have changed my opinion. And here in the same deck, you have the star card. The star is way off in the distance. I think the artist could have tackled this a little differently if it's an astrology class. She perhaps could have shown sort of a magnified version of that star in an implement like a telescope or something. Oh, theme decks that don't quite match their theme, and here we go. Again, this is the Art Nouveau Tarot deck. With the exception of a few cards, the art style doesn't really seem to represent. This is actually a good card. This does really signify the Art Nouveau style to me, but most of them do not really seem to signify that style of artwork from the 1920s. This one doesn't really seem to signify that. Nor does this one. It just seems to be very plain, very regular. This one comes close, and actually, check out that guy. He is hot as fuck. Oh my god. Who would not just fall head over heels for that guy? Yeah, the Justice card also there's really nothing Art Nouveau about this card. This card comes the closest, in my opinion. This is the Hermit. And of course, here is the Wheel. This is a good one also. Very thematic. But here's Strength. Strength is just very kind of blah for some reason. Nothing really Art Nouveau about that. Neither is there really anything Art Nouveau-ish about the Hanged Man. Nor about the Death card. Even though there were many examples of this artwork that the artist could have drawn from for inspiration in dealing with this theme. I have seen some versions of the Star card that totally blow my mind with the fact that they seem to have taken their inspiration from the Art Nouveau period of art, or the style, and this one really, nah, it just doesn't work. Here is the Moon. Now that comes a lot closer, the Moon does. The Sun comes a lot closer. The Judgment card is just and also the World card is sort of meh. Now it's the Minors where the Art Nouveau style is a lot more present, because they seem like pieces of stained glass. If you're going to do a theme deck, make sure the majors absolutely match the minors in that theme. Let's see, Devil card without goat horns, that I've already mentioned that, and the last pet peeve of mine is majors that don't depict their namesakes. And the Wizard Tarot does this in the Lovers card. Now, I ask you, where are the lovers in that card? Granted, you could say, they're lovers of knowledge, but they're taking a test. I really don't know many people that like taking tests, let alone love taking tests. But that could be a very esoteric reading of this card. Granted, the traditional meaning of the card is choices, making decisions, very adult decisions that where you really hive off from your family in essence. But I'm really not seeing that here at all, and it's one of my pet peeves. I think the artist could have done that a little differently. Now, the last question is, name the 2 tarot decks you would love to own. And I'm probably going to be putting an image of each one as I mentioned them around here somewhere in post. And the first deck is which was just released in the United States by Louis Garabio. The publisher is their American distributor is Llewellyn, but Llewellyn isn't giving away any more of their tarot decks to be reviewed. And that is the Healing Lights Tarot by Chris Butler. I am a huge fan of his artwork, especially in this tarot deck. I absolutely adore it. The silhouette, the silhouette draped in sort of an aura of light is just an amazing concept. I know why he chose the title he did, but for a purely marketing standpoint, I might have given it a name such as the Between the Worlds Tarot, because that's really what it seems to signify to me. And I absolutely want to own a copy of this deck. If anyone out there watching would like to maybe give me a present, that would be awesome, because I have absolutely no money whatsoever. Which sucks, otherwise I would be out there right now buying that deck, saying, take my money. The other deck that I really, really want to own is, it's a lot more expensive than a commercial deck, because it was privately made. It's the Pagan Otherworld deck, and the artwork is just phenomenal. It looks to me as though the entire deck had been hand drawn and hand painted, which is it just adds to the appeal, and it almost seems like the sort of deck that an old country wise woman or cunning man would use to give readings to their clients during the Middle Ages. It's just the artwork, even the font they chose for each major card is just exquisite, and I just salivate at the thought of that deck. It is absolutely beautiful, but I think it costs about $50, maybe, probably more. I would have to look again, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And when artists create new decks like this, I think it would be awesome if they would try and get them on Amazon to be sold. I'm sure they would sell a lot more decks that way. But yeah, those are my last. That's my last question. Those are the two decks that I really want to own, and that is my VR to Ember Honeyraven, the Big Fat Witch. And if you see this video, tag you're it. This has been Tommy Tarot, and I hope to see you again. Well, I know I'll be here again. So until then, my witches, keep calm and witch on. Okay, so I am drawing this video to a close. I really hope you like my tarot spread. I plan on doing a mock-up illustration for it. So if you want a more visual representation of my tarot spread, I will be posting one on my blog.